Hello everyone, welcome to Ryotaro's Japan. How are you guys doing? Hello. So already I started to get the comments from like absolutely everyone. Like, okay, so hello to South Africa and hello to Missouri, USA, and hello to Sun is working again. Is it still Chris's birthday? Yeah, well, I mean, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, so I think it was. But uh, I think well, Natsuki was like sending this amazing, it's quite like funny stories on his Instagram yesterday, and I was thinking like, could I be funnier? But nah, it's just just check it. Like I decided giving up. So he's hilarious, right? So I think uh, you might have seen my last live streaming yesterday. Well, no, sorry, last week with Natsuki, right? It was pretty hilarious. I mean, like we actually planned to do the live streaming, like just like maybe maximum like an hour or something, but it ended up like 90 minutes, like like full-on movie, right? Length. It was but just wanted to warn you again, he's coming back next week, right? So the thing is, I mean, talking about the live streaming again, that I decided to do this live stream like every week to myself, right? Promised my week, promised myself like to like to do it every week, so that I can share the information of like what's going on right now in Japan, but like especially the like all the hidden gems that like only you guys, only the viewers of like Rotor Japan uh, would know. Of course, I mean, the viewers of like abroad in Japan, of course, that's good. I mean, he's been cycling all the way, despite of his belly going on there. But anyway, like on my channel, on my live streaming, I want to give you the things that only like a person like me who's been in tourism business for like what 15 years now would know. So the like right now in this past 3 months, like January, February, March, right? We've already had 10 million people visiting Japan. I mean, can you believe that? 10 million people already. And then, so we are expecting about 400, was that 40 million people coming next year. I mean, this year to Japan, which is like what like triple or like triple like maybe in became triple in like last 5 to 6 years, which is unbelievable. So this live streaming is like I said, I want to introduce you the things that the places that apart from the Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, I mean, because those are the places that everyone want to go, but and I'm hoping to like answer the question. Audio is low. Sorry. Let me just make it higher. Can you hear me now? I think it's better. Okay. Yeah. So you can maybe hopefully if anything that you want to know about Japan, and then uh, the things that you want to eat. I mean, which takoyaki place is the best in Osaka? No, I mean I don't want to talk about Osaka, but anyway, those kind of things, right? And then, for instance, I'm right now in Sendai station. I mean Sendai Airport. I'm about to fly away. Um, I've been using this Sendai airport like domestically most of the time, but like today, I am going to Korea. I'm flying to Korea, and then I'm actually transiting at the Incheon airport, and then fly to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Like gotta wait for like 5 to 6 hours, and then like from Kuala Lumpur tomorrow morning, I need to fly to a place called Banda Aceh Airport in Indonesia. So I'm actually in charge of this club called Friendship Force. Apparently, like, I think Jimmy Carter started this organization like years ago, decades ago, and I happen to be the chairperson of this like a local club, so that I'm going to Indonesia because I mean the purpose is that it's well he said that if the adults can homestay do the homestay together. I mean, not the kids, right? Not the students, adults. If we do it together, like the whole world will become peaceful. That's what his the whole philosophy is about, all about this friendship force. But so I'm going there this year. So every year we go different place, and we always have ambassador every year from somewhere else as well. So this year I'm going to Indonesia, and then next year we're going to Vietnam, I think, and then I think we're having ambassadors from Australia, and then no. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm just let me just see, where you guys are from. Like and I saw guys from like I mean, right now in Japan about like 8 or 6 in the morning. So obviously, pretty sure the you guys are from everywhere. So wonder where you guys are from. Where are you guys from? Where from? Where from? Working now. I got back from my trip from Japan on Friday. Really? Oh, I had a good time. My personal tip is to learn how to use Google Maps when navigating the subway and its schedule. Plus, get a Suica card. Yes, it is very, very, very important to get a Suica card, like a octopus card in where in the UK and in London. And so yeah, and hold on a second. Oh, Belfast. Oh my God. Genki desu yo. Genki desu yo. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for your comments. Thank you very much. And I'm going down now. Okay, hold on again. I don't know, my piece is like acting a bit slow today. I don't know why. I mean, network is slow. I don't know, but from Russia as well. Hello, in Canada. Actually, I met some Russian tourists on the way back from what was that? The Uzbekistan, and they were at Narita airport, and then they were going to like they hop onto this like express train without the express ticket, and they were having us okay, we were helping everything. So, I mean, I'm just so surprised that the people are from absolutely everywhere right now in coming to Japan. I mean, I grew up in the States, in Australia, and London, and so on, right? But when I was like a student, right? When I ask people, like what what word comes into your mind when you hear the word Japan, right? What comes to your mind? And then I think back then, like maybe in the 90s or so, I guess. I mean, like the people said like, oh, Toyota, Honda, Sony, and less stuff like that. I mean, always thought about this when asking me. Anyway, but nowadays, people, you know about Shibuya Scramble intersection, and then Tokyo Tower, and then Kabukicho, and all these places that like we you know we go as a tourist to like Tokyo and do the Shibuya crossings and everything. But I mean, it's pretty amazed that people know Japan now, which I just cannot believe. Because I mean, many people thought that Japan was always like the, making cars and then making Walkman, and and now, Tesla came and Apple came, and people listen to the subscription, right? The streaming, and so everything changed, and Japan more became like I think back then it was a time that like with the Dragon Balls or One Piece was like a bit later, but like all these anime started during that time. So people like I think realized that they were all watching Japanese anime when they were kids, like a lot later than when they was there. So people know from that aspect now, whereas like my days it was more like industrial. So I'm so pretty glad that I'm really glad that the people know like deeper about Japan, wanting to know deeper about Japanese culture, Japanese food, Japanese history, and so. So, but anyway, okay. So that's my enough for my talks. Just kind of like reading your comments right now. Speaking of tourists, I hardly saw any when I went to Tohoku region. Yes, I mean, let me give you a fact that say that from like a bit north of Tokyo, like that say metropolitan area of Tokyo, that includes like a bit of Saitama area and sorry noise, Saitama area and some like the area that people can commute to Tokyo to work, from, including that area, right? From that area to the west to like Kyushu, that the whole area, I would think the Tokyo plus West Japan, and so that takes up 80% of whole Japanese population, right? So that would what? That would like what? That would be nine. What's that? 19 million? No. It's not possible. Oh yeah, 19 million. 19 million people. So nine. So instead of like what? 100 out of 120 million people, 900 million, 90 million people like live on the west side, not really west side, but in Tokyo plus west. So meaning that in Tohoku and Hokkaido area, the rest, the 20%, including myself, live on the east. The east side is more like nature, trekking, the seafood, because it's colder. Like that area offers the great fish, right? Because when the water is colder, and fish becomes fatter. What happened to Chris as well, even though he was on the ground. So fish is better, and so and therefore, I guess people, obviously when they first came to Japan, then they go to the west because there are like Kyoto, Osaka, and all these places. They're all on the west, but and then once people like get used to the well, been to those areas, and I think they all start coming to the east. So yeah, so like I'm not saying that don't go to like Osaka or the Kyoto, those area. You should go. You really should go, and then see the difference. Uh, See the difference, right? See the difference between the east and the west, right? Because the people who like nature, especially like people who love trekking and walking, the trailing, and also skiing, snowboarding, and all that. I think at my area, the east, including Hokkaido and Tohoku area is really good. And the people who like fish, like sashimi, sushi, and all that, and it's very, I would say, reasonable. I used to call it cost performance. Good for cost performance because you pay and then you get more. You pay less and you get more and stuff, right? But anyway, so sushi is really good. I mean, when it comes to Sendai, I mean, like the sushi, the quality, and you pay like say $4,000, which is like what $30, I guess, right now, like currency wise. Uh, it's enough. I mean, $30 and you get really good sushi right here. So, okay, Brainy. Okay, so let me just go over your comments. Canadian here driving Honda CRV accent vehicle. Yeah. It doesn't break, right? It doesn't break. It doesn't break. Japan is so cheap to eat out and compared to the most European. Yes, it is. I mean, the good thing about Japan, right, is that like even when you pay cheap, when you pay say $3, $5, or you get a beef bowl, it's like about what $3 right now per bowl. Still really good. Now, obviously, if you pay more, $30, $40, you still get food. But the good thing about Japan is that, like, it doesn't matter how much you pay, you always have like kind of certain the food with certain quality. That is good about like Japan, I guess. So and cheaper North America too, and yeah, it is. And also, Marcus Lewis and Siroto, do you have any favorite coffee spot in Tokyo? Oh, that is a really good question. Um, I mean, I always go to Starbucks, so I can't really tell the best coffee spot. But um, I would say that I can't really like tell you one specific place, but we Japan have like lots of like coffee shops that are owned by an individual, not a franchise or anything. It's really like normally it's an old guy, like in the 60s or 70s, making coffee with like I don't know the system. Like they have this glass thing, and then they pour it like really slowly, and they I don't know they have this some kind of amazing techniques to like make the coffee taste really good. And these like old retro style, like 70s, 80s style like coffee shops everywhere in Japan. But like not in fancy areas like Shibuya and all these places. If you go to the Eastern Tokyo, where like downtown Tokyo used to be, I mean it is still. Then they have more of these places. Oh, Asakusa actually they have. It's even though it's a touristic. If you just go out of those like main streets and going to back alley, you will find all these like, coffee shops, like individually owned. And these places are like that I don't know. It's more like a time slipping to back in those time in the 80s or so. You won't find tourists. I mean, foreign tourists, because it's really, I mean, it's not really hard to get in or anything, but it's just, you wouldn't find, it's just such a small place usually. I don't know, it might be hard to, not find how to get in because of the whole retro atmosphere, but don't be afraid, just go in there. You definitely like it, the style. And also, most of the time, these coffee shops, they serve food as well. They what's the most famous one? Napolitan, which is illegal in Italy. it's a it's a spaghetti, stir fried spaghetti with ketchup. It sounds awful, right? But it's really good. So like Napolitan is one thing, and then they have like Japanese omelette on top of rice, and we call rice. That's it, omurice we call it, and those stuff, right? And so these retro coffee shops are really it's experience. The people who've been to like all these tourist spots. I mean, that next step you want to go for is these retro shops from like Dirty Show era. Okay. Um, we're in Japan next week and we're worried about contributing over tourism. Are there any areas that are trying to attract tourists who might appreciate the visit? Everywhere apart from those over tourism spots. I mean, everywhere else is like people want tourists, and then I think you will be more appreciated. You'll be more appreciated if you go to like uh, okay. Oh, let me just tell you one thing. There is a bus like pass. I mean, I think you guys all know about JR Rail Pass, right? You get on the Shinkansen, you put a train, like 5 days in a row, like you can just go anywhere in the world, anywhere in Japan. And so there's like a bus pass as well, Tohoku bus pass. But again, the Tohoku area only takes up only 20%. And Hokkaido only takes up 20% Japanese population, and so less people, anyways. But if you go to all these like places where only buses can go, like small. I mean, even the trains as well. Like, you don't only take the bullet trains, but take local trains and then get off at, like just rent an Airbnb or somewhere, like out of nowhere, and then you will be appreciated in the sense that people will like, oh, where from? Like, why are you here? Just going to local restaurant, go to soba restaurant, whatever, and say, so where are you from? But people will be interested in you. I mean, and like I said, like in last streaming, I was in Uzbekistan last week, and then people did not expect Japanese people visiting Tashkent, the capital city. So they're like, where from? Like Chinese? Like, no, I'm Japanese. Japanese? Why? It was like the same reaction that I think you will get in those villages and towns. So, my tip is that like, take another train, like from the as soon as you get off the Shinkansen, take another train or bus to go to somewhere else, the smaller cities. And then those smaller cities, unless it's a really famous place, you won't find tourists. You won't find, and then you will see the authentic Japanese like lifestyle and you meet people. And again, these places often have that coffee shops I was just talking about. So just go in there and meet people. It doesn't really matter if you don't speak the language, because I mean, we've got the technology, we've got the mobile. We got that mobile in front of you. So just use the Google translation and then just talk to them. And they'll be, yeah, will be nice to you, definitely nice to you. Yeah. So after going to, I mean, I don't mind, I don't mind you guys going to like all the touristic places, but then after that, just experience the authentic Japan. Thank you for asking. So okay, hi there, and I'm Muslim and who wants to travel to Japan. How much is halal food available, and do you know of any halal restaurants in Japan? Uh, yes, it might be a little bit hard. I know that there are many restaurants who are not really halal, totally halal, but halal friendly in the sense that they will tell you if the food has got alcohol in it or like pork in it. It will show you by the pictogram and tell you that. So I mean, you can tell, but it might be really hard if you're like really like strict about the food. It might be really hard. But if I want to tell you, if I have to recommend, not have to, but if I want to recommend like one restaurant in Tokyo, there is a restaurant called Panga. Assistant please, Panga, Panga. It's in near Asakusa, near Ueno, sorry, Ueno Station, Panga. It's a yakiniku restaurant. So like if you just search for like Panga space yakiniku, Ueno, Ueno, around the Ueno Station. I don't know, it's maybe like 10 minutes from taxi or whatever. And I think near station will be Okachimachi. It's like a too long name, right? So I wouldn't say that, but near Ueno. But Panga is yakiniku restaurant. It's like 100% halal. So actually, I just went there recently. They only serve A5 Wagyu beef, but like halal. So when I went there, I think there was no Japanese. And early times, since like they opened up like at 6 or something, and when they just opened like six to like 9 o'clock, and there were many Asian Muslims such as Malaysians, Indonesians. I'm going to Indonesia today, but anyway, that the Asian Muslims, and then like later, like around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and they open quite late, right? I saw a lot of the Middle Eastern Muslims. So Panga is definitely, if you're really into like beef, yakiniku, and if you don't mind, if you want to try that, definitely Panga is more like I would like to recommend. And also, fish definitely is very, it's halal. You can eat it, right? But what's the problem is that soy sauce. The soy sauce sometimes contains alcohol in it. So, and there are many tourist restaurants that they actually offer you soy sauce without alcohol as well. So you can maybe search around, and there are many Malaysians and Indonesians recently. I mean, they're close, right? And then there are visiting all these restaurants. So there must be a website to tell you where it's serving halal restaurants. And also, if you're fed up with Japanese food, all these there are many restaurants that are owned by Pakistanis or Muslim people that they serve curry. These are all halal, so try that as well. Thank you for asking. Do you have you got any suggestions for dinner in Sendai? Yes, I do because I made a video a while ago called "Three Best Restaurants in Sendai." Three restaurants that you should visit in Sendai. Whatever, I forgot. I made a video about that, and one of them is called Yakiniku Momo, M-O-M-O, Yakiniku Momo. And Momo is a yakiniku restaurant, unfortunately not halal, but it's a Sendai Wagyu beef restaurant. And that restaurant, even though despite the yakiniku, they actually cook for you. But yakiniku is a kind of restaurant that normally you cook your own, like you grill your own meat, right? They serve you just raw meat, and you cook it, you eat it, whatever your time. But like the thing is, right? Each part of meat, each part of beef has got its own, I would say, appropriate time of grilling. So there's like a best moment that you should eat, but you miss it. And if you're like first timer, especially in the yakiniku restaurant, but this place they will cook it for you, and then they serve you at that best specific moment. You might find it too raw sometimes, like the way the the time that they think might be too early for you, but try it, and you'll be amazed, you'll be stunned uh, by their meat. So momo, yakiniku momo, just kind of, yeah, I really want you to try. So momo. Okay, so hold on, one second. Do you think the future of Japan is allowing more foreigners to live there and a chemical population decline? Yes, for instance, where I live, the Miyagi prefecture has right now been trying to attract many workers. Not only, like, I mean, I think many English-speaking people have been living in Japan as an English teacher mainly, and in Tokyo, I mean, for various reasons, but in the regional areas, mainly English teachers. But recently, there are many Asian people, such as in Miyagi Prefecture, on my own, like they were trying to attract Indonesians, because we are again lacking the population, especially in the industries like medical areas and so. And nursing and stuff. So we are trying to attract the people from these countries, and then obviously they will eventually live, and they will eventually bring their family. And I think Japan will change in the next decade or so. When I was a kid, I never or hardly saw any like foreign kid in the class. There was only one Canadian guy, and he totally stood out, and because that he was the first white guy I think in my life, and so I mean it was that, and out of like what 300, 400 students, and he was the only one. It was that rare, and then like I live in a city of like 1 million people. That's pretty big, and for that it was that rare. And then I had again, like if I saw my TED talk, like my first like. Not girlfriend, friend who's female, was Polish girl, Patricia, and she was like blonde and blues and all that, right? So like we like went on and just karaoke and stuff. We walked down the street, and then like people, like whole center population turned around when they saw her, because it was the first time for them to see a foreign person, real. But nowadays, like if I just walk down the street of Sendai, and you will see a lot of foreigners. You see a lot of foreigners, and then people are not surprised to see them anymore. And again in the school as well. Like my son, for instance, has got like his classmates from many different countries, and that is pretty normal in Japan. So things are changing. And then things will keep changing. And in about a decade, I think we will have more foreign faces, and more Japan will become multicultural. And yes, there are people who are not so in favor of having foreigners, but it happens everywhere. But I think Japan needs to accept that, in the sense of, if because we are losing populations, right? And if you want to keep Japan as as good as is economically, I think. I mean, because I've been abroad, so I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind. I'm kind of welcoming those people as well. But I mean, I have to say that there are people who are still against it too. Okay. Ryotaro-san, don't you think demographics change can be a threat for Japanese culture? Yeah, people say so, but Japanese culture has been changing. People, when we talk about culture, history, or culture, when people talk about culture, people always compare culture that has kind of like culture of like 100 years ago or like 50 years ago and so. But Japanese culture has been changing for last 2,000 years or so. So, people say 200 years ago might be saying, our old culture has changed, it's a bad thing. I think we always been saying, when there's a change, people don't like the change. I mean, myself as well, people don't like the change. Many people like status quo. So, but, nevertheless, like, the culture has been changing, has changed, and then I think we will keep changing in the future as well. So having immigrants or having foreign people, foreign faces is as another way, and then that would create another Japanese culture, and then in 100 years, 200 years, and then that would become normal. So I think it that way. So well, thank you for asking anyway. No. あとはさ、それほら、どうぞ、the recommended road trip in Tohoku. Okay. Shinkansen does start from Tokyo, and you get off at Sendai to start with, maybe, or like you can go up to Aomori. Aomori is one place that I really want to like visit. Not many people have visited yet. Me and Chris actually have covered so many times of Aomori, and there's just so much going on there, and we haven't still covered it all yet. So visit Aomori, and then and also Yamagata is one place I really like to recommend as well. I mean, it's this famous ski resort as well, and of course Sendai. Don't forget Sendai. And if you like animals, then you can go to the Fox Village. That is the only place you can shoot pet fox in the whole world. Okay, thank you. Let me just go back in the chat because I think I missed some in chat. You know, like my chat screen, it's not like working properly. That's what I'm missing. Let me just go. Come on. Okay. Go up a little bit. Up a little bit. Hold on a second. Okay. There you go. Okay. Oh no. Sorry. Okay, I'm going down one by one now. Just looking at it. I visited Sendai, Aomori, Hirosaki, and Sapporo during my trip. And before anyone asks, yes, I drank Sapporo at Sapporo in Sapporo. So I think what you meant, and what he meant, was that I drank Sapporo. There's like Saporo Beer, right? At Sapporo Beer Hall, was it? Saporo Beer, yeah, Beer Hall. In Sapporo. I think that's what you meant, right? I know. Yeah, thank you for your comment. Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway, by the way, did you watch? I don't know if any of you like follow Twitch live stream platform. Last week I was doing live streaming with a crazy Japanese girl who's been like live streaming for like, I don't know, like years now, and she's got about 100,000 subscribers, which is a lot for like Twitch streamers. I mean, Kona does it, right? But like the crazy Japanese, we are really good friends, so we always like do the live streaming together. And so she came to Sendai to the Hanami to actually check out like the Sakura, the Hanami, the cherry blossom blooming. She wanted to check that out, and we did the live streaming from tempura restaurant called Teteten, T-E-T-E-T-E-N or whatever, and then we went to a bar. It's like a bar, right? Called Rock and Roll Museum. And this is where like Chris and Nicholas Peters, the kickboxer, and they actually went years ago. And that's a pretty nice place that they play like rock music. And apparently the owner of this rock and roll museum, it's like in the middle of nowhere. It's in a back alley, right? If you just search for like rock and roll museum Sendai, you will get it. But anyway, so apparently the owner, the Japanese guy, is a really close friend of like Cyndi Lauper, and then he's got like the photos with her like everywhere. And every time like she comes to Japan for the concert, he like goes and like see her. I was like, what's going on? All this like little like kind of back alley, like no one would find, kind of like bar, like small restaurant, izakaya owner, like being the close friend of Cyndi Lauper. I was like, how is that? Like I was like, you lying, right? It's like, but he showed me all the photos, and I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, that was it. That was quite a surprise. Yeah. How come Northern Japan ends are more in popular YouTuber coverage? Hokkaido represents 20% of Japan's landmass, and then but it's severely lacking in exposure. Oh, really? I mean, many. Oh, I don't know. Chris actually covered a lot. Chris covered a lot of Sapporo, but in Sapporo, sorry, in Hokkaido. Hokkaido is a great. Has got great nature. It's like Switzerland of Japan, I would say. I mean, there are not many high mountains, but like for the nature activities, like adventure tourism is the best. Canoeing, kayaking. Oh yeah. This year I am creating a new tour in Hokkaido. The Hokkaido is famous. Like in the eastern part of Hokkaido is famous for drift ice. Okay, drift ice. The ice comes from Russia, and it hits the coast area of fills the coastal area of eastern Hokkaido, and then but there are like spaces in between, right? There are like water you can see. So you kayak or canoe or say anyway. You canoe like between those drift ices, and there's a guide together or said they guide you around anyway. So you control your canoe, but like that. Sorry, like that. Oh, this is canoe, right? This is canoe. I don't know which one it is. Kayaking. I forgot anyway. So you do anyway. You swim with the boat amongst the drift ice. That is a tour that I'm creating, and then because it's cold, you wear dry suits, and you get on the coast. I mean, you get on the ground, and then there's a private sauna to warm up, and then for those who do the sauna, that you go into the water, cold water, but instead they prepare like small like drift the sea water with drift ice. So can you believe that? So you get into the water there, and with that it comes with the dinner and everything. So it's a great tour, and I might ask for monitor tour. So you can, if you're in Japan, we actually invite some foreign faces for free on this tour. So just check it out. I think I will upload the if I need of any monitors on my Instagram. So just make sure you follow it and keep watching, and I will do that. Sometime I'm pretty sure because sometime in the fall, October, November, around that time, I will start like asking people if you want to be the monitor, please join. Okay. In your professional experience, how would I best get a job in Tohoku? Know anyone in integration? Integration and speak Japanese, all right, and I'm getting better. If you speak Japanese, it makes a lot different. So I'm talking about just teaching English is the most common job if you don't speak Japanese. But if you speak Japanese, that makes a lot of difference because so then what becomes different is that you can, for instance, become a guide. Again, Japan is booming in tourism right now. So what is lacking is guide, like English speaking guide, Chinese speaking guide, Korean speaking guide, any foreign language speaking guide is what we are in need. So if you are as travel agency or like anyone who's who's doing the inbound tourism, guiding tour and all that, contact them, and then they might if you speak Japanese, it'll be very nice. But in order to do that, it's better that you know the area pretty well. You can talk about it, and then just have some specialty. Make sure you have specialty, I don't know. You've drunk all kinds of sake in the area, or about I don't know, all the everything about the plants, the trees and flowers in the area. Just have some specialty together with the language that you speak and a bit of Japanese, and that would help. Okay. What is the first thing you would do if you went to South Africa? Well, I actually have got many friends in South Africa. I've got this my friends in South Africa. It's actually they are musicians. It's what's the name of that? I forgot the band. It's a drumming group called First first act? No, first. Sorry, I forgot. Anyway, I would go to. I go and see them in. They live in Cape Town, so I want to go there first. And also, I've got some like again they're musicians as well, like the drummers, black guys, and then as they said that they'll take me around in Soweto, and it's supposedly it's quite a dangerous area and everything, Johannesburg, and then they were like, oh, if you're with me, it'll be fine. It's like I want to go I want to go with them and see what's going on there. So thank you for asking. Let me just go down a bit again. Like I'm losing this, you know. Ugh. Mm. Anyway, just comment is just kind of slow, so let me just hold on a sec. But it's been 40 minutes. So this kind of live streaming is something I like to do. Kind of tell you what is going on, like Japan right now, and also give you some tips of traveling in Japan and some interesting hidden gem of especially in Tohoku area because that's where I'm from. Yesterday, but anyway, so yesterday I was having like soba. That soba is called soba no kanda. It's a kanda, and that is like something that soba that I eat like every week. Every week I cannot just miss that soba. It's like a standing soba you eat standing. Those kind of things, like those little things that I wanna actually keep showing you. Anyway, so thank you very much for tuning in, and I will keep doing this, and then I mean, and then next week on the 28th of April, and I will do again the live streaming with Natsuki the man again. He's coming back, and he was like, and I didn't plan to have him in such a short term again, but like he was like, oh, it was so much fun. Can we do this again? I was like, when are you coming? I was like, oh, 25th. Such a short time. It's like, but anyway, so he's coming back. So definitely, please, join us again. We'll be doing a bit late at night in Japan time. So for those of you who live in California, it'll be like a little bit too early in the morning. But if you can get up, please do. And for those who are in the UK and in Europe, you're lucky. And for those who are in Australia, you're lucky too. So thank you for watching again, and I will keep doing this every week. I try to do this as much as possible, many as possible, and hopefully, answer your questions, and then they'll make your travel to Japan even more enjoyable. So thank you for watching, and I will see you. I need to fly. To like Indonesia, right? And maybe I might do live streaming on my Instagram as well from Indonesia, because I can move around the cameras. Because I'm on my PC, so I cannot really do the move around my action cam. But if I do it like Instagram, I can do it. So I might do some live streaming from Indonesia, from Aceh. So make sure, if you got some time, if your time is right, my time is right, if the time is right, if both times are right, just watch it, and then I can introduce it. I can show you a bit of what's going on in that west tip of Indonesia. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next video.